No, I was listening to every single word. But you didn't allow me to say anything, so that was the truth of it.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the Drag Race castmates who had it in for each other. For this list, we're only including queens from the American franchise and only taking into account feuds that happened on the show and extended beyond a single argument.
You're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model.
Number 20, Bob the Drag Queen versus Thorgy Thor, Season 8.
I'm the loudest one.
Shut up, Bob.
Jealousy rears its ugly head once again. Bob was more of a comedy queen and Thorgy more serious about her craft. In fact, Thorgy thought Bob the Drag Queen was all over the place.
Thorgy always comes for him. Thorgy really wants to be Bob. I think that's kind of like her personal vendetta in this competition.
The show's events didn't help the situation when Thorgy was certain she'd won Season 8's acting challenge. And Bob snatched the crown from her head.
I've made some decisions. Thorgy Thor, you're safe.
In a post-season interview, Bob reminisced about her win and revealed that Thorgy had exercised her mighty powers and slapped the aforementioned victor across the face. Number 19, Derek Barry versus Naomi Smalls, Season 8.
I'm wondering, is this your roller girl look, neon look, or Madonna kimono look? They're all the same.
The cattiness between these two was straight out of Mean Girls.
Derek and Naomi, they're like Tom and Jerry, like Nene Leakes and Kim Zolciak.
Derek, tell me about your drag. Well, I don't really have a drag style. There is no Derek Barry. There is Britney Spears. But I hand sewed this piece of fabric that's just buttoned up around my waist.
Derek Barry was basically picked on throughout Season 8, or so she claims, but perhaps the most memorable was her workroom battle of the wits with Naomi Smalls. Luckily for her, Derek seems to be rather thick-skinned and retaliates with surprising ease. When Naomi points out Derek's thinning hair, she immediately responds that Naomi could have had a career in drag if only she learned to glue her wigs down. Snap. In the season's puppet episode, Derek insulted Naomi's style and talent, while the latter watched, clearly unimpressed.
When I impersonate Britney Spears for a living.
And that's why it bugs me, because we're coming into this competition and we're representing ourselves. We're not representing a celebrity.
Number 18, Malaysia Baby Doll Fox versus Mistress Isabel Brooks, Season 15. A few weeks in, Malaysia hadn't exactly impressed some of her competitors. Among her detractors was Mistress Isabel Brooks. Mistress had questions about Malaysia's taste level and didn't keep them to herself.
I think that Malaysia lacks a certain taste level. She has a severe case of drag delusion, girl.
This rivalry was fun and mutual for the most part. However, some of the digs started to cut deeper when Malaysia accused Mistress of being a bully.
And the way that y'all was responding was like, we not figuring nothing out. It's already said and done. Y'all was like, oh, we're doing it. It's ours. Blah, blah, blah.
The thing that stands out about these two is that they're friends. However, they weren't interested in winning RuPaul's Best Friends race. Malaysia and Mistress both had the capacity to throw massive amounts of shade, and their biggest targets were often each other.
I apologize if I made you feel that way, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna apologize for how I felt in that moment and for how it went.
And that's the same way, and that's why I said what I said.
Number 17, Aiden Zane versus Britta Filter, Season 12. To be fair, both of these queens had a rough time on Season 12. Britta came in expecting to do much better than she did, and Aiden Zane was the underdog who never really shined. So when Britta started underperforming, she zeroed in on a queen she didn't think was as good as her.
I'm going above and beyond. Like, it's one thing to just lay there and for me to like carry it to the finish line. I mean, it's pretty easy to play dead.
After working together during an improv challenge, Britta questioned Aiden's authority as a leader.
I'm nervous about our team. Aiden was definitely the weakest link. I honestly felt like you didn't really lead us much.
Then she came for Aiden's dedication to the competition. Whether it was strategic or just a simple case of resentment, Britta just couldn't get past her rival's successes.
And I'm working so hard and I'm really giving everything that I have to do this. And I don't think that Aiden should have been safe.
She may have sent Aiden home, but Britta followed her out the door the week after. Number 16, Aquaria versus Miz Cracker, Season 10.
Cracker, your twin is here. It's battle between the twins, y'all.
Who's the twins?
Cracker and Aquaria.
The Aquaria and Miz Cracker feud preceded the show, and when the two appeared and competed against each other, things got heated. The two had similar looks, and this led to comparison and accusations of drag look thievery. After Bob the drag queen posted side-by-side photos of the two, it became apparent that they resemble each other both in and out of makeup. Miz Cracker admitted in an interview that the two yo-yo between blowouts and friendship on and off the screen. And we can only assume it will remain the same due to that uncanny twin effect.
It's come up a couple times. I've overheard people saying like, oh, well, you know, Aquaria, she has sugar daddies.
Number 15, Luxe Noir London and Mistress Isabel Brooks versus Lucy LaDuca. Season 15. Throughout the season, two finalists were a tag team of Workroom mischief, and they had one consistent target.
Lucy, how are you feeling?
Lucille.
Still feeling good, honestly. Mistress laughs every time I open my mouth.
Sure, Lucy LaDuca sometimes had some delusions about her place in the competition, but she also showcased her insecurities plenty of times. And Luxe Noir and Mistress Isabel were right there to make sure she continued second-guessing herself.
I came in second last week. She didn't.
So I don't really understand why she's trying to sort of read me, but we all know the deal. Talent gets you to the finale, not mind games.
Lucy fought back, but she wasn't able to compete with the 4D chess these two were playing most of the time. Some might call it competition, others might call it psychological warfare. It's definitely peak drag race drama.
I'm not even cutting up. I just feel like you're not being real, Lucy.
You think I'm not being real right now? This is the most real that I can be.
Just be honest. You won heaven because it's the lead role. It would be a lie to say that you wouldn't fit the description of tough.
Oh my God.
Number 14, Tatianna versus Tyra Sanchez, Season 2.
I'm not gonna replay it because I already know what happened and you already know what happened.
Okay, well,
I'm not replaying it with you over and over again. There isn't anything else to say.
But why are you talking?
Why are you talking?
The Season 2 champion is still one of the show's most controversial figures. Her attitude toward her competitors was either callously aloof or downright hostile, and she made no apologies about it.
I'm just in my own world. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention to any of the other girls.
This was especially hard for Tatianna to take. If there was one thing she couldn't stand, it was a bully. Though tension between the two had built over the season, it all boiled over during the Here Comes the Bride challenge. Both of them made their animosity known on the main stage right in front of RuPaul.
And like really pissed me off because she talks so much shit about so many people but won't say it to their face.
You really shouldn't play the victim. It doesn't suit you. You don't do it well.
This is one of those feuds that seems to have lived on way after the season. Number 13, Gia Gunn versus Pheromone, All Stars 4.
That leaves Gia Gunn and Pheromone. I actually thought I was going to be the first one picked. I don't think any of these girls really know what I do other than look gorgeous.
Gia and Farrah were another couple of queens who brought their extra sparkly baggage into the competition. The two apparently had an altercation at a club in the past, and this led to an uncomfortable verbal exchange in the workroom.
So that I can have closure. Gorge, you getting ready already?
Yeah.
Yeah, do your makeup and get ready, sweetie. Because according to your team, you're the weakest link.
Oh, shit.
Oh, here we go.
Gia is said to be stirring the pot when she raises the issue again, and Farrah accuses her of doing so only to turn the camera's spotlights on herself.
And do what you're doing.
Oh, sweetie, I'm very secure. Are you secure?
Okay. It is taking everything in my power right now not to completely go off on this bitch.
It's a little hard to feel sympathetic for Gia in this situation, as she opens the conversation with an insult.
I was just trying to see, in case today's your last day here in the competition, how you feel about our friendship and our past.
You are taking up my time right now, and I don't have time for it.
Number 12, Adore Delano versus Laganja Estranja, Season 6. Bianca Del Rio's long-standing irritation is what touched off her legendary Untucked argument with Laganja.
I believe that you've come into this competition with an act. You came in, waterworks, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, and you're not even given a true story. So explain that to me.
but the true rivalry was between two queens who were friends before the season. Laganja Estranja struggled on season 6. Not only was she criticized for her presumed fakeness, but she was having to watch her friend, Adore Delano, win more challenges than her.
But in the outside world, I'm used to winning. So in this competition, it's really hard to see all my friends get a lot of praise, especially Adore, because I don't think her look is as strong as mine.
Laganja felt that Adore's drag was not as polished as hers. The judges clearly did not agree. That feeling of being overshadowed colored their relationship until Laganja's elimination.
Adore and I have an advantage because we've worked together many times in the outside world. I'm just really nervous that Adore will overshadow me and that I won't be the star.
Things were so uncertain between them that for the reunion, RuPaul actually had them sit down together to watch a video package of their rivalry. It was, in a word, uncomfortable.
I was just trying to be funny, but then you're saying that that's you. You can say that all this is fake, but this is real.
Number 11, Bitter Old Lady Brigade versus Young Look Queens, Season 7. More appreciated now than when it aired, this season saw a sharp divide between its queens. Ginger Minj, Kennedy Davenport, Mrs. Kasha Davis, and early out Jasmine Masters formed the lovingly named Bitter Old Lady Brigade.
Miss Kasha Davis, Jasmine, and Kennedy and myself, we just call ourselves the Bitter Old Lady Brigade. But we don't mean any harm, girl, except when we do.
They placed themselves in opposition to younger, more aesthetic-focused queens like Violet Chachki, Pearl, Trixie Mattel, and Miss Fame. Mostly older and more seasoned than their competitors, the Old Lady Brigade didn't always take the young queens seriously due to their focus on looks over humor and performance.
Fame, Trixie, Pearl, then there's that old tight-ass, long course face Violet. Them four just wear my nerves out. They don't know shit about performing.
These tensions simmered throughout the competition, but came to define the whole season in the final stretch.
Before this episode, before we went out there and said all that shit, I liked all of you, and now I don't.
You don't like us?
I miss my friends now.
Number 10, Plain Jane versus Amanda Tori Meeting. Season 16. This season's villain immediately earned her title. Plain Jane's reads were so frequent that, at a certain point, if she wasn't reading her competitors, it's because she wasn't talking at all.
Well, rest assured, I definitely have more respect for you than I do for Amanda.
Why are you such a honestly? What's with this? I have more respect for you than I do with Amanda. Like, where is this coming from?
After seeing Amanda Tori Meeting's drag, Plain immediately apologized to the fandom for having to see it.
I think Amanda's drag looked hideous. I'm so sorry to the Drag Race audience for having to witness such a goblin.
She made her opinions known often. While Amanda wasn't the only target, Plain's continued straightforwardness about her work started to weigh on Amanda. Even Plain's attempt at an apology touched off yet another argument in Untucked.
I felt the need to express my opinion to you, and it was unwarranted.
Right.
So this is the last apology that I'll give you, though.
Sure.
And you better bring it moving forward. So.
What does that mean, girl?
Honestly, it's almost as if these two just didn't speak the same language. Number 9. Raven versus Tatianna, Season 2. Drag Race's sophomore season was one of the most contentious ever. Finalist Raven seemed to be annoyed with Tatianna from the beginning.
Tatianna's an airhead. Tatianna doesn't have an opinion or a voice. The only thing she has is a pretty face, and even that I'm getting sick of.
Raven made it clear that she thought Tatiana's runways were basic.
All of you guys think that I'm like nothing.
I would never say that. Her interview was her look, her book cover was her trying to launch and sell her book to the judges was shit.
This became full-blown resentment on both sides by the end of the season. Taking most of their swipes at each other in the confessionals, Tatianna and Raven never really had a blow-up on camera until the reunion. RuPaul couldn't wait to show them clips of all the things they said about each other.
Until the point that I'm not done talking yet. You will speak when I'm done.
Oh, honey.
Girl, security. She has gotten everything that she wanted to say out about me. Okay. It's my turn.
Number 8, Ben de la Creme versus Darian Lake, Season 6.
And that leaves Ben de la Creme and Darian Lake.
Really?
Sometimes the rivalry is one-sided. In season 6, Darian seemed to have something against Ben. Perhaps a certain green-eyed monster made an appearance here, as Dayla did not seem to want to join in on the charade.
I feel like there's been a little bit of tension between Darian and I lately, but I think that she's super talented, so I think this is a good pairing.
It didn't help that Ben was somewhat of a fan favorite, making Darian's attempts to lessen the appeal of the queen more difficult.
Cougars.
Now, do you know any cougars?
We are cougars. I'm too young and pretty to be a cougar.
In one scene where the two had to work together, this unease was as thick as a high-end wig. As RuPaul asked the two about working with each other, Darian seemed to claim that it is touch and go, whereas Dayla appeared surprised at the former's reaction. Number 7. Bob the Drag Queen versus Derek Barry. Season 8. The Britney impersonator and the New York comedy queen had very different styles of drag. Let's just say that. Derek Barry struggled to break out of her usual makeup, while Bob was slaying the competition, even if some of her looks weren't up to Derek's standards.
Hey Bob, if I want to do ratchet drag next week, can you give me any tips?
If you want to do like memorable drag next week, I can give you some tips.
These two had the makings of being an all-time Drag Race feud from the very first Untucked.
You are doing the basics of comedy. Look, there's a reef on my That's comedy 101.
I don't think what you did is funny though.
My outfit's not funny, I'm funny.
Bob had Derek figured out from the jump, but Derek was hard-headed enough to go toe-to-toe with her. Their rivalry culminated in a fantastic lip sync that saw Bob winning out. Outside of the heat of competition, the two have since become friends. Number 6. Heathers versus Boogers. Season 3. Long before the All-Star Queens were voting each other out, Drag Race had its first case of competing alliances. Self-proclaimed pretty girls Raja, Manila Luzon, Delta Work, and Carmen Carrera started calling each other Heather.
Heather, can you help me?
Yes, Heather.
I think it's hilarious we're calling each other Heather now.
Well, I mean, aren't we? Those are our names.
Initially formed as an in-joke between friends, the season started to revolve around their feeling of superiority over the boogers of the season.
And I don't want you to think that I'm attacking you. No. But I am attacking you because ultimately this is a competition and I want to beat you.
Looking back, it does seem like the whole thing was blown out of proportion, but it did create some entertaining Untucked drama between the Heathers, Shangela, Stacey Lane Matthews, and Alexis Mateo.
No, you're always talking about being real. We are being real with you. We're telling you right now what's going on. Roger, so be real. Be real.
Bitch, I'll be real.
Be real, girl. Be real. Hallelujah. Be real.
Number 5. Rolaska Talks versus Jinx Monsoon. Season 5.
Day one, we walked in here as Rolaska Talks, and girl, here we stand with Lil Jinx. No offense, Jinx.
The popular kids from season 5, the trio of Alaska, Detox, and Roxy, also known as Rolaska Talks or Rolodex, formed a clique and essentially picked on all those they considered to be unpolished queens. The bulk of their wrath was felt by Jinx Monsoon. Incidentally, the trio found themselves up against Jinx in the final episodes.
I would say Jinx Monsoon. Absolutely love her, but I feel like there's maturing that I would like to see.
Jinx had her talents put to the test in a final lip sync battle against rival Detox, but emerged victorious and broke up the precious clique. Despite their predatory attempts to get her eliminated, their prey won the season. Mean Girls finished last.
Jinx Monsoon.
Number 4. Silky Nutmeg Ganache versus Evie Oddly. Season 11.
Evie should go home just because she's hurt and we got time for that.
Silky and Evie were definitely never meant to be BFFs. The two butted heads throughout the season like fabulous feuding goats. Evie was a little too honest for Silky's taste, and her bold words took things a step too far when she called Silky talentless.
Silky Ganache.
Why?
I think Silky has been the most resistant to your critiques and the judges.
Silky never quite recovered from the insult. The two tried throughout season 11 to get each other ousted, and fans seemed divided between the two as well. However, some online polls showed a landslide victory by Evie Oddly when it came to fan opinions. Whose side are you on? Number 3, The Vixen versus Eureka, Season 10.
Girl, she can say or do the exact same thing that I say or do, and
First
you
of
act
all,
like she didn't do shit.
I am not your mother. I
What
do
do you
not owe
mean?
you. I do not owe
you talking about, bitch?
Because
you ain't
you
my
acting
mama.
like
The Vixen just simply couldn't stand Eureka. The two frequently bickered throughout their shared airtime. Aside from racial tensions pointed out adamantly by Vixen, there was a bit of a rich queen, poor queen vibe to this feud. Vixen felt that some queens had an unfair advantage in their overflowing designer handbags of cash. She also felt that Eureka specifically already had a rapport with the judges, having been on the show in a previous season. Let's just say Vixen was a portrait of the old adage, it's not fair.
And maybe, no, I'm not going.
it's done.
Number 2, Coco Montrese versus Alyssa Edwards, Season 5.
I feel so mentally drained right now. I'm trying to finish my costume, and this whole Alyssa thing, it's still bothering me.
Once more, we have a case of a shady past being dragged onto the show. Excuse the pun. These two were former competitors in the Miss Gay America pageant.
Miss Coco, you're gonna have to do a little bit more pink in the eye. Well, you concerned about what's going on over here when you need to be worried about what's going on over there with that same makeup you've been running on the runway every single time.
Alyssa was crowned, yet was dethroned shortly after to be replaced by runner-up Coco. This led to Coco slandering Alyssa on social media. Somehow, Coco plays the victim in this situation, something that is just as confusing to us as it is to you.
I'm not joking, bitch. You gonna call me a runner-up? You ain't never won nothing.
The two end up facing off in an intense lip-sync battle, which they consider to be some form of redemption for the past. The energy is palpable and over the top, as Coco swirls her sleeves with rapid strength, and Alyssa does an impressive spin and splits combination. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Vivacious versus her zipper.
Yes, mama. Come on.
Pull it down, baby.
Let us see.
It was all dramatic, and then it was just...
Kidding, diamonds are a girl's best friend. Zippers are her greatest foes. But our real number 1 is... Number 1, Sharon Needles versus Phi Phi O'Hara, Season 4.
Well, basically what I said was I felt that you kind of pushed me into, you know, just doing my spooky look, and that it was irresponsible, and I thought it was kind of sloppy just to...
Because I told you to do something that you're good at?
The feud between Sharon Needles and Phi Phi O'Hara was filled with zingers, which is what places it in our number 1 position. Phi Phi didn't appreciate Sharon's gothic queen look, and didn't hesitate to share said information. She felt that the latter's dark influences didn't belong on the stage, and the animosity was palpable. Any fan of the show, upon mentioning this feud, will immediately parrot the phrase, "go back to Party City" with excitement.
Tired-ass showgirl.
Showgirl, at least I am a showgirl, bitch. Go back to Party City where you belong.
Phi Phi uttered this retort in response to Sharon calling her a tired-ass showgirl. Of course, Phi Phi also had issues with other queens, namely Alyssa Edwards.
You can't get upset because you were eliminated and someone had their opinions on why you should be gone.
Which of these Drag Race feuds was your favorite? Let us know in the comments.
Because India, I thought we were friends, but now I realize we were not. My vote and my conscience is clean.
You can really sit there and say that.